Nightmare in the subway. Last year, I was heading to my friend Jake's birthday after a late shift at work. By the time I got on the subway, it was close to midnight. I remember sitting down and dozing off. When I opened my eyes, the train had stopped at Hudson Terminal. The lights inside were dim, the doors open, and the car was completely empty. A strange silence filled the air. I checked my phone, 12:43 a.m. The station wasn't closed, but there was no one in sight. No voices, no footsteps, just the low hum of the lights. I stepped out, walked toward the escalator, and rode up to the street. That's when the real nightmare began. The asphalt outside was covered in dark, sticky stains. The windows of the nearby shops were shattered. In front of the subway entrance lay a dead dog, twisted unnaturally, as if its insides had been turned out. The silence was so deep, it almost rang in my ears. But the streetlights, they glowed bright and steady, illuminating the scene in every detail. For some reason, that made it even worse. My phone rang. It was Jake. "Tora, can you hear me? Where are you?" "I'm outside the subway. What's going on? There's nobody here. I'm freaking out." "You fell asleep and ended up in another reality. Don't trust anyone. Get to my place. I'll try to pull you back." "And Tora, I mean it. Don't trust anyone." That's when I saw him. A tall police officer, pale, terrified, stumbling toward me. His eyes were wide with horror. He collapsed at my feet, pushed a strange revolver into my hands, its metal engraved with glowing runes, and rasped, "Run!" In the corner of my eye, I saw something dark moving toward us. A cloud, shifting and writhing in ways that didn't seem possible. My chest tightened. I bolted toward Jake's apartment, running past broken windows, scattered bodies, my footsteps echoing in the still air. By the time I reached his building, my lungs burned. I burst into his apartment, slammed the door behind me, and leaned against it, shaking. Then it hit me. Why was the door unlocked? Holding the revolver, I crept down the hallway. In one room, I saw Jake's mother, lifeless, a dead cat in her lap. In another, a shattered mirror. Finally, Jake's room. He sat in front of his computer, head tilted back, a deep wound in his forehead. The glow from the monitor painted his face an eerie green. My stomach dropped. I started backing away. Suddenly, I heard his voice behind me. "Tora, where are you going?" I turned. Jake stood there, blood dripping from the wound on his forehead, his eyes glowing with the same toxic green light as the screen. I reached out a hand, but I couldn't move. My body was frozen. The door burst open. Another Jake, alive, unhurt, ran in, screaming, "Tora, run!" Green-eyed Jake opened his mouth, revealing sharp fangs. Without thinking, I raised the revolver and fired. The demon vanished. The real Jake smiled, reaching out his hand. And I woke up. I was back on the train at Hudson Terminal. The clock still read 12:43. The station lights were bright. People were getting off, heading home. I stepped outside. A dog slept near the entrance. My phone rang again. "Tora, where are you?" Jake asked, sounding annoyed. "I'm outside the subway. What happened?" "Some guy called me from your number 20 minutes ago. Said you weren't where you were supposed to be, then hung up. I couldn't reach you after that. You okay?" "Yeah, I'll be there soon." As I walked to Jake's building, a tall police officer passed me, smiling faintly. The apartment door was open. Inside there was music, laughter. Jake's mom sat petting the cat. Jake was in his room, staring at me with concern. And that's how I learned never to fall asleep in the subway again.